This the whole time. I have one good angle, okay, so I need to know where it is.
So if you toss like this.
Hey guys, welcome to Texas Tuesday.
I have one good
I'm gonna have to
angle,
turn this around because now I'm a little distracted. Hey guys, welcome to Texas Tuesday. Okay, we're good to go. Hey guys, we are still working on how to figure this YouTube live out. I do have audio, which is really good. So we're making progress. Next week, I'm going to work on some other things so that you can see all my team. So here's all my team. Well, not all of them. We have a couple missing. But what we want to do on this live Texas Tuesday is we want to help answer your questions. And if you filled out the Dream Home Questionnaire, there is a box on there that says, hey, would you like to be referenced on the Texas Tuesday Talk Call live on YouTube? So that's what we did. So we've had several people that wanted us to maybe get it as a group. I know you're going to have your one-on-one with one of your agents, but just some group feedback to help you narrow down where to live in Texas. Also, if you haven't filled out the Dream Home Questionnaire yet, go ahead and fill that out. And then if you want to be referenced, great. And next week we'll talk about it. Okay, so let's start. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go up.
This is Kevin.
Hey y'all. So we have a Dream Home Questionnaire run across this week, and they are looking to have a summer project, basically. They're open to having a fixer-upper and making a house, turning it into their home. So they're wanting to stay around the 300,000 range, and they're open to either being out in the country or being in the city. Either one, and the location's not as important. They're going to be coming down from up north. When it gets cold up there, they have a summer business, or a winter business, I'm sorry. So they're going to be coming down during the summer and fixing up a house that they're going to be working on turning it into their dream home. So when we're looking to stay within range, 300,000, and we're wanting a fixer-upper, we can get a little bit better of a location. So if we want to be somewhere centralized, maybe in places like Arlington or North Richland Hills, where we have homes that are in nice areas still, supported by great surroundings, close shopping, everything is nearby. And then we just go in there and put our own twist on the home. So whether you just want to do some repainting and freshen it up, or you want to do a complete gut and remodel, the option would just be yours. One thing that I noticed several of our clients asking about is garages. So on their questionnaire, they put it that they wanted to have at least one carport. Most of our homes in DFW are going to be at least a 322 single family home. DFW is primarily a single family city. And so most of our homes are going to have at least a one car garage if they were built back in the 60s, 70s. But even in the 80s forward, most of our homes have a 2-car garage built attached to the home.
Any other thoughts for you guys on what you would recommend? Or did you feel like Kevin just hit it on the head?
Kevin always hits it on the head. Yeah, he always knows.
There's one more thing. So sometimes our clients too, they're wondering, hey, how can I stay in an extended stay area where I'm coming in and maybe my furniture can't get here on time yet. I'm still waiting for it. I don't want to live in a vacant home and go buy all new furniture, but in the meantime, while my furniture is still being shipped here from maybe out of the country or all the moving trucks are behind, what can I do? So my best recommendation is finding a furnished Airbnb. Yeah. Airbnbs can go month to month, so sometimes you're saving a little bit more on the rate. They're much better than having an extended stay, especially if you have kids or pets or anything like that. Don't forget, if you want to be cooking in the kitchen, you're going to have all your pots, pans, and everything else that you can make a normal life with while you're waiting on your stuff to show up or ordering new stuff. So
absolutely. There are some apartments that will do furnished short-term leases as well, but typically that's going to put you at a higher price point typically than an Airbnb.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's great.
All right, cool. Who has the next one? You have one.
I have one.
We're right with you, Katie.
Okay, hi, I'm Katie. Good to meet y'all virtually. Okay, so these lovely people are in Canada. So that's pretty cool. We love our international
We have
clients.
a couple of Canadians coming down.
Yeah, so Jessica and Ben shout out to Jessica and Ben. They are looking for, oh, this is Dee. She's your agent. So they're looking for nature. Nature is really, really, really important to them. Obviously coming from Canada, I'm sure it's beautiful up there, lots of trees, nature, parks, things like that. So they want to find something here locally that has trees near the home, parks near the home. And they're okay with giving up some of the convenience of being in a community that has shopping like right next door in order to have some of that nature. Now their budget is no more than $400,000. They want homeschooling options, which I think it's really great when people put that, because actually in Texas, homeschooling is phenomenal here. We don't have as many restrictions on homeschooling, and it's not as monitored as I've heard some other states do.
It's not monitored at all.
Yes, okay, it is not monitored at all.
We homeschool our kids.
It's
so
great.
yeah.
So homeschool options equal, you can literally live anywhere in Texas and you're gonna have homeschool options
Yes.
being whatever you create them to be. I was homeschooled for a year, loved it. We did all of our schooling outside with our chickens. It was so fun.
And there's communities everywhere for homeschool.
There's lots of great like co-ops, so you can take your kids to the co-ops, and different teachers that are parents might be teaching one class and then you might teach a class, and so your kids still get that great socialization. There's also homeschool events. Like I know when I was homeschooled, we always went once a week to a skating rink, and it was shut down just for the homeschoolers, so they do different programs like that at the zoos and things like that. So homeschool options are abundant here in Texas. Jessica and Ben have already looked at McKinney, Round Rock, and Georgetown online, and they know that they like those areas. So maybe we could brainstorm and figure out some great cities that would be comparable to those here in the local area. Also, and I love this, they really love something that's French country style, not all white, all gray. They love the wood look in the home. So what do y'all have as far as suggestions for Jessica and Ben? Places to live. Where is the most like wooded area in the DFW, or somewhere with a lot of landscaping and trees?
I'd say Decatur.
Decatur. That'd be good.
Yeah.
We don't have as many trees here. I mean, it's not like here's a big forest that you can live by. So I was a little bit stumped by that one.
Yeah, some areas in Houston are like that, but I don't like the humidity down there.
Oh,
That's my personal thoughts.
very
But there are
humid.
some beautiful wooded areas closer down to Houston.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, and in Decatur now, there is a national park in Decatur, and so you can actually get near that, and you will feel like you have a whole lot more acreage than you actually do, because it's I think 1,000 acres of wetland out there.
Oh,
It's,
wow.
yes, it's
Okay.
beautiful.
That's
There's
wonderful.
lakes,
Yeah.
there's mature trees, it's good. Decatur's great.
Little rolling hills, a little bit of rolling hills.
Yeah. And you're still only 45 minutes from National Airport.
Yes.
45 minutes.
That's right.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
That's right. So that kind of falls along the lines of the one that I have. Here, I'll put this back on me. Hi, guys. So I have someone that's under 3, and they would like something near water, something that when I look at what they're looking for, to me it screams no HOA. And so I definitely would recommend Decatur in that regard, because you're going to there's water over there. You get more home for your money, under 400,000. You could find some places in Arlington, because there's a lake down there as well. And but there are many options. So we just have to put in the search no HOA, and we can definitely get you a fantastic home. We have Zippy. Ooh, yeah, yeah.
A lot of no HOAs. I have clients right now that I'm working with that they do not want an HOA, and so we're looking at Granbury.
Granbury's
So,
wonderful.
yes.
It's
Are they new
wonderful.
construction homes you're looking at?
No.
Okay.
Those are all gonna have an HOA.
I know most do, but I've
Yeah.
seen like one that doesn't.
Well, I
Yeah,
guess if it's like
yeah.
a custom
Yeah.
builder building
Mhm.
on land, like acreage, they're not gonna have an HOA. Are HOAs common in all states? Because I get a lot of clients asking me, what is the HOA and what do they do? Does anyone know if they're popular elsewhere? Because they're very popular here.
They prevent people from
Yeah.
painting their house
Yeah.
color.
Right,
So-
yeah,
So,
making sure that your home is gonna look consistently
Yeah.
updated to the one next to it.
And that everybody is mowing their lawns, they're not letting them get out of hand. And
Yes.
so it's just a cosmetic thing as well.
Yeah.
And yes, some can be more stringent than others. It probably depends a lot on who's on the board, who's recommending their time to drive around and write the tickets or whatever. But
The OCD
Yes.
HOA president.
yes, they come and go for sure.
They also provide
Yes.
like events too, though.
They
like
do.
they'll
Yeah,
put on
yeah.
events for the community, maybe like a 4th of July
Ours is a
parade
big
or
one.
painting, face
Yes.
painting, things like that. So there's benefits to the
Food
HOA.
trucks,
Cool
they'll
area.
organize
Food
food
trucks.
trucks to come into the community.
Yeah, pros
Yeah.
and cons.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, who's next?
So since we're talking about HOA, I think we should go with, we have Helen and Matt here moving from Corona, California, and they have, so one of the requirements really is suburb of Dallas, which is a big area, obviously. So we're gonna have during that one-on-one call is where we're gonna help narrow down the area based on needs and all that. But essentially they're moving here with 3 little kids. And the requirement, the reason why I'm saying HOA is because they do have a boat. And one of the check mark was that I have a boat, RV, and I want to store on the property. And so this definitely ties into the HOA. Most HOA will not allow that. So if you're looking to keep the boat on the property, you're probably gonna have to be looking for areas without HOAs. But having a boat, assume that you really like lakes. We do have plenty of options. We have this area of Dallas. The North Dallas is one with the most lakes in Texas, so we definitely have plenty of lakes. I'm sure that there will be plenty of options.
What's the price point?
So they are up to, they can actually go up to $1 million. So definitely that's not, that's gonna be fine in terms of price point. They're like between 6 and $1 million. 4 or 5 bedroom house, the square footage is fine, over 3,000 square feet.
Does it say if schools are important?
About top 20%, so it really gives them plenty of options.
Okay, what are y'all's thoughts?
One thing I wanna add, well, yeah, in terms of location, there's plenty. I mean, we can go,
Yeah,
again, if we're looking for the boat, is gonna be the defining factor. So if you want the boat, then we have to have that conversation.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
but it's gonna be
thinking-
very few that
Or
allows.
Arvine.
Yeah, Arville.
Yeah,
I was
Arvine.
thinking that too.
But
You
also-
just wouldn't go in one of the brand new communities. You'd have to be in one of the, maybe an older home that has some acreage or a custom builder. I don't know what their time frame is, but there's custom builders out there that build on acreage.
But just know that there are plenty of options for your boat. So if you're not gonna keep on the property, there's plenty of storage
Yeah.
places that
Yes.
will keep your boat. And it's not too expensive, actually. I mean, it runs, I've seen from like 100 to maybe up to 200, depending on what kind of storage you get.
That's true, especially if you're right by Lake Grapevine, because then coming off of either the Flower Mound side or the Grapevine side, you could store it in a boat dock. I mean, you just keep it right there. You don't even have to put it up in storage. You just keep it in a
Yeah.
little. what's it
If you
called?
keep it
Like
that
a
in the
slip.
slip, in the dock slip, yeah, that's a little more expensive, but I was
Yeah.
thinking like off-lake sort of. But one other thing I think it's important maybe to have this conversation is that they also check up to 10 years old. So that is something that
Oh,
we
yeah.
talk
It's
about.
hard.
And I
That's gonna
think
be hard.
this has to do, I think, a lot from people coming from out of state where they're used to neighborhoods built in the 50s and the 60s, and they really have old homes. Most of where we live, we don't have that. It's very rare to see 70s here. I mean, we do have some.
yeah, we
but-
think old is 70s.
Yes, most of the neighborhoods around the Metroplex were, I would say, like 90s to maybe early 2000s, right? So there's a good chance that if you limit to up to 10 years old, you're gonna miss some great neighborhoods. So we're gonna have to have the conversation. And the homes were built very well, especially some areas. So 20, 25, even 30 years old homes, they're like solid homes. And maybe that's when the old owner went in and rehabbed the house. So you end up moving into a 25-year-old that have new kitchens,
It's been
and new
updated.
air conditioning
Right.
and all that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
essentially, I wouldn't just limit to the 10-year-old unless it's a must-have. In that case, we would have to have a conversation about that too, because
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think the biggest differentiating factor to set somebody to make that decision is, do I need an updated home or do I need an
Yeah.
open concept home with higher ceilings?
or
That's the big
energy
difference.
efficiency.
Yes.
Because that's what they hear on all my videos is energy efficiency. But an older home isn't necessarily not energy efficient. It's just some are not. But some of, like you said, Robert, these homes, many of them like South Lake, they're all custom built.
Yeah.
Grapevine, you're gonna have many custom built homes, and so you may get a home in the 70s or 80s that are custom. They're better built than say just the minimum standard production builder.
Yeah. Because I had a Zoom meeting with somebody last week in similar situation. Wanted to be near Frisco, within 25 minutes of Frisco, has an RV, and it was an option. It's always, is that a must-have that we have to have that on your property? And maybe we need to either look for an older home in Plano that doesn't have an HOA, or going out further on the far east side of Dallas where we can find something still in the same price range that's further out in where we can have that, or can we look at RV storage and boat storage? And sometimes that's the same that you're gonna either pay to, by the time you're in renovations and, being in that same desired location to have all your criteria, sometimes it's even less expensive to store your boat somewhere than it would be to make that difference on your mortgage.
Yeah, that's true. So what I would say is, what we like to do is we like to take your specific needs, your priorities, because maybe a newer home's a priority over the, and you'd rather store the boat or RV versus maybe it's, or being close into town is more important. So we like to assess all those, which is the purpose of a consultation, right? A one-on-one consultation. So you'll get that when you fill out the questionnaire. All right, who's next? Miss
I
Julia.
have one. Nabil, I hope I say this right. They are from Canada, Nabil and Samira. Their budget is around 600,000. It's almost like this is a mix of everybody else's questionnaires, with the exception that you all have marked cash, that you are cash buyers. So homeschooling, you do want to be near a lake or walking distance to a lake. And my brain is going towards the Tribute and Little Elm area that is on Lake Louisville. But you also marked the suburbs of Dallas, so that's another reason why I'm going towards Lake Louisville. Would love to show you that area. Flower Mound possibly too.
Rockwall.
But yeah.
Ooh, Rockwall might be a good one
Rockwall.
too.
Yeah.
Rockwall or up there in
Yes.
Little Elm. Are
Yes.
schools important by chance?
No, homeschoolers.
Homeschooling.
Oh, homeschoolers, I missed that.
Homeschoolers.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, you
Yeah.
got a lot,
All
you have a
kinds of
lot of
options.
options
All
here,
kinds
if
of
you're not
options.
bound by school districts.
But I mean, what I do like about the Little Elm and the Tribute area is it puts you in the middle of Dallas and Fort Worth. I love Rockwall, but you are on
That
the
is
east side
true.
of Dallas, and you're going to miss a whole lot of what Fort Worth has to offer as well.
Mhm.
Because you're just going to get a stick on that side.
a good point.
So. But now with cash offers, what I always like to tell my clients that are cash is it gets you to the finish line and gets you into your home faster. A cash contract does look great over ones that are contingent or have a loan involved, because it can get you into the home quicker. And so I do talk to my clients about that. 2 to 3 weeks, depending on paperwork, can get you into the home. If you want in a house fast, let's concentrate on homes that are empty also, because somebody is making 2 mortgage payments. So
Those vacant houses,
the vacancies.
you can get a better deal on as well.
Exactly. So it's, we can negotiate. So anyway, but yes, look forward to you all moving here.
All right, did we get all of the questionnaires?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, very good. I can't see your comments, so I apologize, because I'm still, we have comments. Miss Jennifer's got them for us.
Okay, so Karen is asking about the housing market in the next 6 to 18 months. You think that it will crash, or what do you think for North Texas or the Texas region for the next 6 to 18 months for the housing market?
That's a great question. So the question is, what do we think about the housing market in the next 6 to 18 months? Do we think that the Texas or even Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas market is it going to crash? I like to say, first off, we can't predict the future. Anything could happen, but I do have a however, because we in Texas, we are full force, we're fully open. The kids went back to school this week or are going to school this week. And so things are moving along in a very open fashion, which means our economy is stable here, more stable than other areas. And in real estate, we have jobs, an abundance of jobs here. So jobs and the real estate market is all about supply and demand. So as long as we have the jobs here, we're going to have the demand for housing. So in my opinion, if the market goes down because of news, because of anything that comes out, I feel like we will, even if we go down temporarily, we're going to go up. So in my world, I'm not afraid to purchase a home in this market. I do like that we're over the summer, like we're over the super hot. And so typically the best time to purchase a home is right when school is starting. The worst time to buy a home is usually April and May because everyone else is buying at that point. Now, if that's the only time you can, then get in. I'm not super afraid of buying at the peak of the market. I'm more concerned about investing long term. Now, if you think that you're only going to live in the house 2 or 3 years, then I would definitely want to make sure that where I'm purchasing, that I'm buying at a really good deal, right? I want to give y'all thoughts. Y'all's thoughts on real estate market. Do you think it's going to tank?
I'll touch real quick. Dana said jobs. I just was watching a YouTube video last night. Most updated jobs information we have, 8.3 million unemployed, 10 million available jobs right now.
Whoa.
So theoretically, we should all have employment, right? That would be great for an economy. There we go.
If you want to
love
work.
that.
Yeah.
If you want to work, there is a job.
The opportunity is there.
Yeah. Nice. We're seeing the housing market kind of equal out a little bit too, right? So we're
Yes.
not seeing so much of the competition and the multiple offers and the craziness with, $100,000 over ask price offers and all that kind of stuff. So it's evening out. So I think
It's
people
better, so
that
much
were
better.
waiting and saying, oh, it's going to tank, I'm going to wait for it to drop. Well, it's not tanking, but if you were waiting, then here you go.
Yeah, this is the
It's
opportunity.
time. Yeah, this is the time.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like it's leveling out.
It
I don't
is.
think it's gonna tank, and a lot of people, the demand is still there. So people
Yes.
are waiting for like kind of school to start so they can kind of get back into looking for homes. So I don't think it's gonna tank personally.
Yeah.
And
Any
we're
other
seeing
thoughts?
a lot of homes, more days on the market. So where it was before, it was 2 to 4 days. Now we're actually getting like 5 to 7 days, some of them, and price decreases, which we had
Yeah.
not seen.
That's true.
Which is interesting because it used to be 30 days on the market is
Right.
like the benchmark.
Yeah.
So 7 days is now the benchmark.
Yeah.
To me, that's not a tank.
So that's
No.
Right.
But it is an opportunity where we're not like
Right.
100 offers.
Mm-hmm.
I think one
Can't
way.
secure a contract without cash.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think that if there's one way that you can kind of get into a home and feel like you're building equity and like you're in a good place when you move into that home, it's gonna be new construction. Especially if you can get in on the earlier phases of a brand new community, because the builders have their price point where it is now. And let's say it takes 6 to 8 months, maybe 10 months to build your home. Well, now their price point starts here.
Yep.
And so by the time that you're closing,
Yes.
you already have that built-in equity.
Yes.
And that's just a great way, even if you're gonna buy inventory that's already built, so you don't have that big time gap. If you're buying at the first phase of a community, well, by the time that community is closed out, sold out in 3 to 5 years, depending on how big the community is, you're already sitting on equity because you got in when the community was
Yeah.
early. So I think that's a great way. If you're nervous about that, I think new
That's a
construction is a
great point.
really great way to feel that security in your investment.
That's
That's a
good.
great
I
point.
have clients that don't even have a foundation poured yet still,
Me
and they're
too.
already $40,000.
So do I. Yep.
I can top that.
Yep.
I have one that's 100,000 more.
Wow.
They have
Oh
not
my
even
God.
done the foundation yet. And
Wow.
it's in Fayette, Texas.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Oh, that's
That's
great to hear, because
amazing.
I have people building in Heath right now, but they're still working on plans.
yes, yes.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I want to bring up one thing too. When people do ask me this question, and with everything that we've all gone through with COVID and everything, and a lot of companies have clearly let everybody work from home. There is a draw to people moving here because we are in the middle of the United States. We have an international airport.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
can work from home here very, very easily. So I know that a lot of families are looking at this area because, we can work from home. We can get into a larger home here or whatever, and we can get on a plane and be East Coast, West Coast within 3 hours.
Yeah,
So
I've
I
actually had
honestly
two.
don't feel like it's gonna slow down.
I had one that wants to commute to California and the other that wants to commute to Seattle. So some people are moving here and then they're just commuting
Yes,
to work in
Yes.
Seattle.
yes.
That's awesome.
And it's not the
Yes.
first time I've heard of that. That's,
We're
yeah.
about to get, where can I park my private jet?
Yeah.
The last thing about this is that it really depends on how long you plan to stay in the house.
Yes.
So if you are going to stay at least 3 years, then it's a no-brainer. I mean, we just don't see any issue with that. If you might have a chance to have to sell it next year, then maybe you can seriously think about that question, because there could be a temporary slowdown or maybe slow pullback. But the other thing we know about Texas, historically data, we never had the same pullback or crash that any other state experienced in any of the
That's
crashes.
true.
So typically for us, a crash or a pullback is literally like going sideways. And
Yeah.
maybe a couple of percentage point back, but
2008 was
nothing serious.
3%.
This
pullback.
year, we did have a little bit unusual home appreciation that's a little bit
Yes.
new, so we're gonna have to establish that. But again, if you're planning on staying at least 3 years in your house, you're gonna be fine. More than that, no problem at all. And then just like Dana said, nobody can predict the future, right? But the trends looks to be just like what everybody has said. And then the other thing is this home affordability index, what the people earn comparing to what
That's
the home
true.
price is, even though they went up a lot. We are still one of the best states around in
Yes.
the country. I mean, you can still buy homes for less than $200 a foot right here, and it's very rare in most major metroplexes. So for that reason, there's still room to go up.
Yes.
Even if we think it's already expensive, there's still room to go
Oh,
up.
it's going to go up.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
guarantee it's going to go up.
Absolutely.
Long term, it will be going up.
We
And
have
our metroplex
Another
is
question?
so big.
Yes, we got a couple, two more questions.
Okay, let me give Twee her thoughts real fast.
Well, I think also the great attraction for DFW is just the vastness of the options of where you can live. You
Yes.
know, so our metroplex is big, so there's something for everybody and every price point. If you want to park your RV, if you want to,
Yes.
lakes, and so I think the attraction of DFW is phenomenal.
I agree. And as we've been traveling Texas, I'm discovering that more and more. I'm not saying that there aren't other great areas in Texas, but Dallas, Fort Worth in particular, has such a variety, so many
variety.
options for
Right.
every desire, budget, everything. I love it. Yeah.
I really feel like DFW is wherever you buy a house is a great investment because it's just growing.
Yeah, is there a bad area
Yeah.
to invest in DFW?
Right, I just don't.
Even the areas that we would think are bad are going up in value.
Exactly.
Like you might not want to live there right now,
Yeah.
but
Right,
in
but it's a
5,
great
10 years,
investment.
yeah.
Yes. Okay, yes, Jennifer.
Two questions. Someone asked, is 600,000 a good starting point for Frisco? What's the market like in Frisco? And the second question, probably Dana for you, I heard that Haslet is the next it town. Please share your thoughts on Haslet.
Love
Cool.
Haslet.
I'm gonna let Kevin
Yeah.
tackle the, here, I'll get in here.
I'll touch
get
on
you-
Frisco.
You can tackle that.
So Frisco, there is, and we don't consider it a luxury neighborhood because we do have some older homes in Frisco.
There are luxury neighborhoods. It's not
Yes.
necessarily a luxury city. Like
Not-
South Lake, the whole city's luxury.
Exactly.
Frisco, there's a variety of price
Yes.
points. Okay, go ahead.
So
Sorry
we
to
have some
clarify.
older homes. I'm glad you did though, because South Lake is about 750 and up.
Yeah.
Not like Frisco. Frisco, we can go over into some older homes dating back to early 90s. And it's right very central to Frisco. So we're 5 minutes from Sunbury Mall, from 5 minutes from downtown Frisco, where we have kind of the cultural district down there next to the FC Dallas Stadium. We're in the $300,000, $400,000 range right there still, looking at about $150 a square foot on average, 160. Now in the height of the summer, people were bidding $335 list price, we're going $400,000. I mean, those homes are hot because you can still
Yeah.
get in Frisco under
Because the
500,000.
location is
Yes.
And
phenomenal
the
with
school
all the amenities
Yes,
and the school
and
district.
school districts, we're up top 5%. So you're really, and you're in the middle of Frisco, right across from the ranch that is acres on acres that one day they're gonna have to sell, right?
Yeah.
So that's our best location for price being central to Frisco.
So you can, under 600, get a home
Absolutely.
in Frisco. Now,
It depends on
We're
what you
looking
want.
more of a first time home buyer
Right.
home, no
Then we
3.2
have
or
to-
a 4, 2.5.
yes, so we have to balance that with what
Mhm.
kind of home do you want?
Yeah.
Right?
Brand new construction
Yeah.
on an acre is not happening.
On an
for that.
Yeah.
acre is not having, not in Frisco for sure.
Even brand new, new construction in
What
Frisco
can you
under
get?
400.
What can you get for 600 in Frisco?
You can start stepping up into your second home where you're, in 3,000 square foot range. Now we're still going to be right there. It might not be everything updated that you
And it may
want.
not be brand new.
It may not be brand new. Probably late.
But you can get 3,000
2010.
square feet.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. And maybe it's just putting some new paint on the wall and turning the house into your home. But it's all about compromising, right? What's my must-haves and what can I live without or change on my own, but still stick within my budget?
Okay, yeah, I agree. Yeah, so we'll just kind of balance those out. And on the Haslet, is it an up and coming city? So I live in Haslet, and what Haslet is known for is, in the past, it's been known for like 1 acre lots. You could have a horse out there, and so it's been known as a country town. They're starting to build more master plan subdivisions. They have a couple of really nice ones coming in. Up and coming, I'm not sure. Like, I've looked at the plans of like their downtown area. Their downtown area is not anything to look at. They have a park, it's okay. They do have plans to develop it. When are they going to do that? I have no idea. It's probably going to be 20 years. So one day, will it be this amazing attraction? It's possible. It just looks like it's 20 years plus out. Am I wrong about that?
No, I'm with you. There's a lot of land in Haslet, a lot of new communities going in that are only in phase 1 or just now getting started. So that's always a great sign to see growth, but I totally agree with you. The roads are far behind. Haslet itself doesn't have as much to attract. They're still working on adding a second fire station in there that's, establishing more of those community things. However, it is very close proximity to
so
the highway
close.
and Presidio and Alliance.
Why
Town
we
Center.
chose Haslet, there's several reasons. One is it's still close to, like you said, Presidio and Alliance. It's 7 minutes from Target and Costco. And the traffic's not too bad yet, although it's starting to pick up. And what you get for a home, in a home, you get a lot for your money in a home.
Yeah.
And so they're even putting that new, I'm gonna do a YouTube video on it, Pentavia Homes.
Yeah.
They are custom builders in Westlake that they're used to building $3 to $6 million homes in Westlake, and they are making a production line that does not look production for under 1.2 million, from 700 to 1.2. And I'm eyeballing that neighborhood. There's hills in the it's gorgeous. So could it be on the up and coming? It could be, but right now Haslet's a coin toss, in my opinion, because you do have warehouses out there. It really is a coin toss. Do I think everywhere is a great investment? Yes. Do I feel like we made a good investment? Yes. We chose that also because land is cheaper at that Highway 287, and we want to build a church one day. So that's really why we chose Haslet, is because land's cheaper.
You said land's cheaper. You can still get 5 acres. A lot of the neighborhoods that are a little bit older, they have these 5-acre parcel lots all lined up next to each other with a home on them, and they're still 700,000, 800,000. So for 5 acres, and you're that close to the rest of the city,
can't go to Keller for that.
Keller's almost 300,000 for 1 acre.
Yeah. So I would say the up and coming on the Fort Worth side would be up 35 to North Fort Worth to Justin, Argyle, North Lake is really the up and coming, is definitely, in my opinion.
Closing that gap between us and Denton.
Yeah. So any other questions before we let everyone go? Is that it, Jennifer?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for joining Texas Tuesday. Click the link below to fill out the Dream Home Questionnaire to get your one-on-one consultation. If you check the little button to be referenced next week, we will do that now. Our whole team is not going to be here next week, but you'll at least have me and maybe a couple of others. And then we'll resume the following week. So anyway.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
All right. Thanks, y'all. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.